Okay, so when we're looking at external assessment, we need to start at the NZQA website. So we can just type in NZQA. And then we go there and we go to the subjects page. Follow along and you find classical studies and click on it. And then that takes us to everything about classical studies that's on the NZQA website. The section that we're looking at is the externally assessed standards section, which is down here, but everything that we need about all of the standards internally and externally assessed, and the teaching and learning guides and the matrix for classical studies is up here in this section. So when we go and have a look at the externally assessed section, we're going to try and find out what's in this year's exam. The first thing that we want to do is to click on the assessment specification. So we're going to pick level 3. So when we click on that and we go down, we're going to have a look at 91396 and we're going to click the assessment specification for 2013. When this comes up, it's a PDF and it has all of the information about all of the externals for 2013. This is published at the end of the year before, so this came out at the end of 2012, and it's usually published around the 1st of December. There's information about how the students will be assessed here, and then there's specific information about each achievement standard. So if we have a look at 91396, it tells us how many credits and where we can get help in the teaching and learning guides, but also that the assessment is going to have 4 parts that are going to be assessed. Generally, these relate to 1 part per question. So if we take a look at these, many of you will know that these are quite different from what was in the sample assessment paper. So if we go back, that's one of the key things to think about. If we go back to the externally assessed standards section, you should never judge what's going to be in the next year's exam based on the previous year's exams. If we look at the sample paper for 2013, for level 3, and have a look at that one, it'll pop up. So this is a sample paper, and you'll see that there are 4 questions: leadership and power, conflict, social and political change, and culture and identity. But when we have a look at the achievement standard itself, at the assessment specifications for 2013, one of those is not there. In fact, I think it's conflict. Sometimes teachers get caught up when they've used the previous year's exam rather than the assessment specs. So the other thing you have to think about for setting school exams and preparing your students adequately is that the students need to be able to practice the exam as best in a similar situation as many times as possible. That means your school exams need to address these concepts that are published in the assessment specification, and you cannot and are not allowed to use exam questions that cover one whole year's exam. If you use old exam questions, and there are samples of these available on again on the NZQA website, so you can click past examination papers. Level 3 only has the exemplar script as their new standards this year. You should not and cannot and are not allowed to go in and just take, that's not going to show me what I want it to do, so we'll go back and take that whole sample paper. You have to take it and modify it. When you modify it, what you have to make sure is that you're modifying it for the assessment specs, but also for the achievement standard. Every question has to be able to answer allow students fair goes answering any of those contexts, and that they should be even across all of the standards.